Alright folks, many of you all have probably seen my previous Hill People Gear Connor V2 pack loadout. That was done back in April, right after I had gotten the pack initially set up. I said I would do an updated video after I'd used it some and got it dialed in. So now that I have been using this pack all summer, I've not gotten as many miles with it as I wanted to. Life's just been busy, but this is what I have settled on as a loadout and for what has been working. I also now have, as you can see, the Recon waist belt as well. I've put in the first mile and a half with it this morning and already noticed a difference in the comfort and how the pack carries having this waist belt on here. So let's go ahead, we'll jump right into it. On the front, I've got the Tough Possum Gear sit pad. This was the limited run Jay Berry did a few months ago in Manatee Gray. Has to match. In the front slip pockets here, I've narrowed it down to just a sport. I did keep some extra hydration packets and stuff like that in there. Stuff was just kind of getting too messed up in there, the soft-sided stuff, so I just keep a spork in there. I'm constantly needing that. In this slip pocket, I either have my Tops Brush Wolf usually, but for today, because I'm packing a lot of extra weight, I just went with another small simple knife, the Hope Narrow Seacot. I've got two 32-ounce Recon water bottles in either pocket. I've got one on each side. This side I've also got the 32-ounce Grail nesting cup, so I can run it with my 24-ounce Grail. I don't always carry my Grail though with me. Like today I'm just running these two. In the zipper compartment, we'll start with, I've got just some wipes. I've made some changes to the pouches and the organization in here. So this is one of the Vanquest small sticky cubes. In it I now have my Work Sharp guided field sharpener, seal cock key, set of dogging keys, and then I've got a meal bank bag for filtering water as well as some water treatment tablets in there. I've got my, this is a Tough Possum Gear, I think 3x5 pocket possibles is what that is, pocket tool pouch. I think it's the pocket tool pouch. But I've got my Sunto MC2 in there. Now, Jay Berry does have a actual compass navigation pouch out now, but I found that fits in there just fine, so I went ahead and used what I had in my box of pouches. I've got another pocket tool pouch here. This one's a red one. I've just got some extra band-aids, gauze, just a little boo-boo kit for quick stuff. An Anchor 10,000 milliamp power bank. Another Tough Possum. This is a 6x8 in a UHMPW, something along those lines. It was a limited run of bags he did, ripstop material. But this is my lighting kit. So I've got the Phoenix HM71R headlamp in there, the TK20R V2 handheld light, and then this is my spare battery pack, which I'll put a link up in the top there to show how I utilize that battery system. I also carry a cooking grate. Doesn't take up a whole lot of room, but can add some functionality if you need to. Building fires, cooking food, boiling water, whatever. For no more than what it takes up, I just like having it in there handy. Let's go ahead and repack this. And I've learned that with this setup and kind of sticking with stuff that are all in these flat pockets, like with the tool pouches or the sticky cubes or whatever, it just makes everything pack in here so much nicer and neater. A lot of times in the summer as well, I will tuck a small can of bug spray up in the top, which I think is shown in my previous video. Alright, and as you can see on the zipper pull as well, I'm running just one zipper pull still on the front with a Phoenix EO2R rechargeable keychain light. Hardly ever use the thing, but if I need it for something, or if I just need some rear marker identification while I'm walking, it is the hanging there. So go ahead and get into the main compartment here. Now, as I said in my previous video, I went to the corner over the terrace so I would have extra room for base layers if I wanted to, or extra outer layers, food when I'm going hiking, things like that. The Terra is great for a quick, hasty pack, and it's going to get set back up. Is that this Connor though is a more all-inclusive bag to allow me to carry extra stuff. Like right now I'm recording on my GoPro with the Volta handle. There was not room in my Terra for that. There was also not room for, this is one of the Schwartz meals, there wasn't room in there for it. I've got an additional 12 ounces of water for the coffee I'm fixing to make. I've got room to carry my Samsung S9, this is the S9 Plus. I've got a MSR, this is the 7.4 ounce MSR stove fuel. Now, we will get into here. So as you can see now, and my Cena. I don't leave my Cena on my helmet. I rode the bike up here today, so I'll pop the Cena off, put it in here. Now, on the back wall here, this is a limited run Tough Possum Gear mini organizer that Jayberry did, and it works perfect for my fire kit. So I'll carry a pack of Swiss Miss hot chocolate in there. I'm a big sucker for hot chocolate, and you know what, sometimes you just need that last emergency holdout hot chocolate pack, so it stays in there. In the actual zipper pouch here, I have got a ferro rod, the lid to my grill cup, my Dragonfire, Fire Dragon, I never can remember what these are, Dragonfire, Fire Dragon, my Fire Dragon stove with fire lighters in there. Like I said, this is basically my fire kit. The stove also works as a stove. I've got a video I'll link to it. I've got just a couple other fire starter packets and a tape wrap Bic. So that's my primary fire kit in here, and this is hook and loop back, so it's just stuck to the back wall of the Connor. I really like that feature more and more in packs as I am coming across those packs having this dual MOLLE Velcro hook and loop compatible material. I don't really like it necessarily on the outside of packs. Sometimes I feel like it makes it a little too flimsy of material on for the external of the pack, but interior seems to work really well. I've got the Ozark Trail camp stove right here. This is a SOAR tactical pouch. I don't know what the actual usage is intended for this pouch, but it works great to carry the Ozark Trail in there. It does have the propane adapter, so you can run it on a propane bottle or regular camp fuel, so it fits down in there perfectly. Also forms a nice neat little pocket right there for the camp fuel to ride in. This is another Tough Possum Gear 6x8 in blue. I need another one of these. I really like using this size for a snack loadout. I'm going to do a separate video on just what I carry in there because it's a surprising amount of snacks. I've got my Phoenix HT30R LEP, my Baco folding saw, vanquest. This is the medium sticky cube. This is my first aid kit. It is probably more inclusive than what it needs to be, but a lot of times I'm hiking by myself, or Buddy and I are out, and sometimes we can go off trail and get a little carried away, so I like to be a little bit extra prepared there. Cordage kit. Don't really have a whole lot in here. This is another vanquest small sticky cube. I've just got some zip ties. I've got some number 36 twisted bank line. I've got a little bit of flagging and some pre-cut paracord links. So just a little bit of stuff. Like right now I use some of it to mount the camera up with. Not a lot of stuff, but just enough that I can make a shelter if I need to, or tie something up, make a repair, whatever. In the zipper pocket here, I've got a pair of mechanics gloves, and then down at the bottom I've got a bandana, another just an empty gallon Ziploc bag just to have, and then another pair of these are pair of darn tough socks, and an extra pair of boxers. A lot of times I will throw a set of thermal layers in here as well. Once the temperatures here in Kentucky start dropping more. On the bottom here, you can see I've got a jacket crisscrossed with the bottoms. That is my Carhartt Storm Defender jacket. It's a great great outdoor jacket. It's not the lightest by any means, and it's not the most compact, but it does great keep wind and rain off of you. I wear it on the bike. I've worn it in rain on the bike, and I stay bone dry. So it's now got the Recon Prairie Belt on it. Makes a noticeable difference. It does not have much in the way of padding on it, but the wide width of it makes up for that. I feel like it is definitely wider than my Vanquest waist belts. It's taking a little bit of getting used to. I'm for sure gonna have to get a low profile belt. My 511 belt that I've been wearing for the last 10 or 15 years with its big buckle is not comfortable under this. My Vanquest packs, those belts are narrow. They ride right on top of my belt line. This wraps around my belt line, so definitely got to get a low profile under belt for it. This is the, let's see, this is the small medium belt. I typically wear like a 30-32, 32-32 if I'm carrying my concealed carry, which is a M&P 9 4-inch compact. I carry an appendix, so I wear a 32 in it. I can wear a 30 without, but this seems to fit me pretty well. It comes right around and stops right in the front of the hips, just like you want it to do, so you get that good full wrap around. So if you're on the fence about what size belt to go with, that's my take. Like I said, this is the small medium. I think it's the 30 plus is what this is. Inside of here, you do have your frame chute at the bottom. And then I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video about this pack, but I just keep some large trash bags folded up and slid up inside of here between the back layer, the inner back layer of the pack, and the frame itself. It's not between the padding and the frame, it's between the inside of the pack and the frame. So I just keep some large trash bags in there just to have them if I need them. Pack up wet clothes, shelter, emergency poncho, or whatever. So that pretty well wraps up my new loadout with the Hill People Gear Connor V2. I have also taken and taped up all the loose ends. Once I've worn this pack enough to figure out just how much motion range of adjustment I might need, I have taken and taped these up. I do need to get something a little bit better. My harnesses, I'm having a little bit of issues still getting it dialed in just right with the pack. Like I said, I've only put 1.5 miles on it this morning. Somewhere between 1 mile and 1.5 miles with the belt on it. So I'm still getting it readjusted from that, because previously I've been running it beltless. And even though this pack's probably somewhere just around the 20 or 25 pound mark, I like a belt. I just like it to be a little bit more secure when I'm hiking, and I like to have the option to alternate between shoulders and waist when I am out and about for longer periods of time. We often like to, like I said earlier, get off trail and explore a little bit, do different things. So just having that extra point of securement and attachment I like to have. And if I don't want to run it, you can easily fold this around. I do like the methods of, it's got pull forward belts or pull forward adjustments on the belt, which is very nice. But you can easily, if you don't want the belt, just fold it right around and tuck it, just clip it on there, and you're good to go. So there's my Hill People Gear Connor V2 updated loadout as of October the 27th, 2024. So there you go, guys. Keep your knives charged, your lights sharp. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.